life throws you lemons. Make lemonade. So we started with this stuff, right? Started with a lemon, and somebody took this at one time, and instead of saying, this is sour and it's bitter, instead of saying that and just throwing it out, like somebody thought, what can we do with this to make it something that's refreshing and sweet? The difference in that was attitude. Whoever had this originally had a choice. Taste it, okay, it's bitter, it's not sweet, it's sour. They could have thrown it away if they had a bad attitude about it. Or they could have chosen to have a good attitude and thought, hey, what could we do with this to make it something that people will enjoy? And they created lemonade out of it. There's a difference between winners and whiners. Okay, so winners, they do what's right before they feel good. Like they don't have to feel good before they do what's right. But whiners have to feel good before they choose to do what's right. Okay, so there's another difference, I think, between the person that saw this in the first place and had a bad attitude. I think that person was a whiner. And he looked at a lemon and he said, I gotta feel, it doesn't taste good enough yet. I gotta feel it right before I do what's right. And the guy that was a winner was the one who figured out how to use the lemon and make lemonade out of it. We could look at this lemon and we could see problems and we could focus on that, or we could choose to focus on the possibility of this. So focus on the possibility and not the problem. A lot of time, I think, at least what happens to me, is when I think about attitude, I'm looking at it in terms of, like, how does that make me feel? Like, how does that person make me? Like, they gave me a bad attitude. The truth of your attitude is nobody's putting that in you. What happens is the external world and people in your life, the outward things, they can squeeze you. They can squeeze you, but they don't put what's inside of you in there. Does that make sense? So what happens is when you get squeezed, like something's coming out. And that, a lot of times, the first thing that comes out is our attitude. That's why it's so important that we choose our attitude. And we don't blame the people that are squeezing us for putting the attitude there in the first place. They didn't. Yeah, they're squeezing and it may hurt and it may not be good, but they are not responsible for your attitude. We're responsible for our own attitude. What happens to you is largely outside of your control. So if somebody's squeezing you outside of you, that's largely outside of your control. But what happens to you can only affect what happens in you if you choose to let it. The closer you move to gratitude, the further you move away from grumbling. Like, that's what I see. In my life, when I'm more grateful, the closer I move to looking for ways to be grateful in life, the further I move away from grumbling about the situation and the circumstances. You're in control of that. Like, you have the authority to say, you know what, I'm gonna look for something positive. Yeah, my work sucks, like it's squeezing me, you know? But I'm gonna look for something positive in that. And there's some way where I can make this lemon into lemonade. If you have to feel good before you express any gratitude for what's in front of you, then you'll sabotage your ability to be successful.